An experiment in luxury. If you accept this invitation, you will have an opportunity to make another social study, said the old friend. The youth laughed. If they caught me making a study of them, they'd attempt a murder. I would be pursued down Fifth Avenue by the entire family. Well, persisted the old friend, who could only see one thing at a time, it would be very interesting. I have been told all my life that millionaires have no fun, and I know that the poor are always assured that the millionaire is a very unhappy person. They are informed that miseries swarm around all wealth, that all crowned heads are heavy with care, and... But still, began the youth. And in the irritating, brutalizing, enslaving environment of their poverty, they are expected to solace themselves with these assurances, continued the old friend. He extended his gloved palm and began to tap it impressively with a finger of his other hand. His legs were spread apart in a fashion peculiar to his oratory. I believe that it is mostly false. It is true that wealth does not release a man from many things from which he would gladly purchase release. Consequences cannot be bribed. I suppose that every man believes steadfastly that he has a private tragedy which makes him yearn for other existences. But it is impossible for me to believe that these things equalize themselves, that there are burrs under all rich cloaks and benefits in all ragged jackets, and the preaching of it seems wicked to me. There are those who have opportunities, there are those who are robbed of. But look here, said the young man, what has this got to do with my paying Jack a visit? It has got a lot to do with it, said the old friend sharply. As I said, there are those who have opportunities, there are those who are robbed. Well, I won't have you say Jack ever robbed anyone of anything, because he's as honest a fellow as ever lived, interrupted the youth with warmth. I have known him for years, and he's a perfectly square fellow. He doesn't know about these infernal things. He isn't criminal because you say he benefited by a condition which other men created. I did not say he was, retorted the old friend. Nobody is responsible for anything. I wish to heaven somebody was, and then we could all jump on him. Look here, my boy, our modern civilization is... Oh, the deuce, said the young man. The old friend then stood very erect and stern. I can see by your frequent interruptions that you have not yet achieved sufficient pain in life. I hope one day to see you materially changed. You are yet... There he is now, said the youth suddenly. He indicated a young man who was passing. He went hurriedly towards him, pausing once to gesture adieu to his old friend. The house was broad and brown and stolid like the face of a peasant. It had an inanity of expression, an absolute lack of artistic strength, that was in itself powerful because it symbolized something. It stood, a homely pile of stone, rugged, grimly self-reliant, asserting its quality as a fine thing, when in reality the beholder usually wondered why so much money had been spent to obtain a complete negation. Then, from another point of view, it was important and mighty because it stood as a fetish, formidable because of traditions of worship. At the portals of luxury. When the great door was opened, the youth imagined that the footman who held a hand on the knob looked at him with a quick, strange stare. There was nothing definite in it. It was all vague and elusive, but a suspicion was certainly denoted in some way. The youth felt that he, one of the outer barbarians, had been detected to be a barbarian by the guardian of the portal, he of the refined nose, he of the exquisite sense, he who must be more atrociously aristocratic than any that he serves. And the youth, detesting himself for it, found that he would rejoice to take a frightful revenge upon this lackey who, with a glance of his eyes, had called him a name. He would have liked to have been for a time a dreadful social perfection whose hand, waved lazily, would cause hordes of the idolatrous imperfect to be smitten in the eyes. And in the tumult of his imagination, he did not think it strange that he should plan in his vision to come around to this house and with the power of his new social majesty reduce this footman to ashes. He had entered with an easy feeling of independence, but after this incident the splendor of the interior filled him with awe. He was a wanderer in a fairyland, and who felt that his presence marred certain effects. He was an invader with a shamefaced, a man who had come to steal certain colors, forms, impressions that were not his. He had a dim thought that someone might come to tell him to be gone. His friend
Sample complete. Ready to continue?